can do a lot. I can do a lot with that money. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Udy, and I go by UdyOnTheGlo here and on Instagram and TikTok. So make sure you subscribe to me here and follow me there. Today, I'll be sharing with you guys my 2022 luxury wish list. If you're interested, please stay tuned. For a bit of background on me, it wasn't until last year that I really started getting interested in luxury goods and luxury items. And I feel like it was for my birthday. It's just something just triggered me. Tons of YouTubers that I follow since like their day ones, and as soon as they started mentioning luxury items, it went in one ear, not the other, because I was like, it doesn't really apply to me. It's not for me. But now the switch happened, and it's like I would love to have a few items in my collection. Now, granted, some items are placeholders, which I'll talk about more later. Some items I'm willing to save up and see if I can get them for myself, and other items, even if I had the money, I would love it as a gift. So I think what I'm gonna do is divide this by different fashion brands. Without further ado, let's jump right in. We're gonna start off with YSL Saint Laurent. The first item that caught my eye was the YSL Sunset bag, the black one in medium. That was on my list. I've been eyeing it, and the first time I went to Saks, I was like, okay, let me try it out, see what it's like in person. They did not have the smooth black leather in medium, but they had it in large, and the only medium they had in black was the croc. Now, I will say the croc isn't necessarily like for me. It's a bit too much for me. I feel like it made it look even bulkier. So I wasn't entirely sure if like this is a bag for me. Later on when I was in London, we went to Selfridges and Harrods. We really looked in Selfridges the most. They had the bag, but not in that color as well. And one of the things I was worried about is if the bag was too bulky on me. It was kind of giving that vibe. I don't know why, and I know the accordion style doesn't allow you to fit too many items in there. I was kind of iffy about it. With Selfridges having the, I think it was called Blanc Vintage or something like that. It's the cream color. I tried that on. That bag was absolutely beautiful, and it opened my eyes to a neutral color scheme as far as the sunset bag is concerned. I don't know if I necessarily want the black one anymore, but I still have not seen it in person. I've seen people do like mod shots who are smaller than me, but something about it is like I just don't know if it would work for me. I also look at that bag as like a nice coat bag to just wear over your coat in the winter, and for some reason it just wasn't doing what I thought it would do. However, I am keeping my eyes on the neutral colored one. The next bag I was looking at, and it was a surprise to me. It would be the YSL LouLou. I'm not too much of a fan of quilted, tufted, or puffer bags. For me, they're just not really my thing. However, there are exceptions. So don't come for me. There are exceptions. For some reason, the LouLou is just growing on me. Initially, I thought I would want the medium, but as I saw and did my research, I feel like I'm more so in the small. I haven't seen it in person, so that's what I want to do. So I do love the black on black YSL LouLou. Also, the cinnamon color with that suede finish. I've seen some people with it, and it just looked great on them. So those are bags I definitely want to see in person. Also added to the list, the Kate bag. And what's funny about the Kate bag to me is I remember years ago, again, when I wasn't into luxury, didn't know anything about it. Years ago, the one with the tassel was like my favorite. But me now, as far as like learning classics and just timeless pieces, I love the clean finish of the Kate. Now granted, I haven't seen it in person, but from what I've seen, I want it mainly because like that grain leather, it looks easy to clean, easy to handle. I want it in a small is what I'm thinking now. Other items on my list from Saint Laurent would be a Fragment Monogram wallet or card holder. Don't quote me. But as far as that goes, like I would see so many videos of people getting card holders, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I just wasn't there. Now I kind of understand it. I will keep carrying my everyday wallet because it holds all my receipts, all my cards, everything's in there. Now granted, I can get by with a regular wallet from like Target or something. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I think that would be a great gift. And then last but not least, YSL has these sunglasses. I believe they're the M95 sunglasses, and it's something about having, I call them bucket shades. So like if you're traveling and you're not all the way put together, or it's been a long night, you just want to put your shades on and be in the zone. It's a look, it's a vibe. So I would love to have that in my collection. Jacquemus? Jacque? Oh, Jacque from Atlanta. Alright, next up I have Jacquemus. Now, I kid you not, I have looked up the pronunciation of his name many, many times. First time I saw it, I thought Jacquemus, that can't be right. But Jacquemus kind of has like a ring, so that's a nice name. Even when I've talked to sales associates, they've said Jacquemus, and I've heard some people say Jacquemus. And I feel like the latter is the correct way to say it, but actually I want to say Jacquemus. But if you guys know, please correct me. For the meantime, I'm just gonna say Jacquemus. From Jacquemus, I really wanted one of his bags, something that felt a little bit more timeless for me, and also something that can go with a lot of things. I wear a lot of black, I wear a lot of neutrals, and I'm not doing all out color. So I really wanted one of his bags in my collection, and I was eyeing the Le Grand Bambino in khaki. I was just imagining that in an all cream button down blouse with loose trousers, linen maybe, on someone's beach, someone's resort with that bag. So crazy enough, as I was eyeing it, I couldn't find it anywhere. That color was sold out. When I started doing my research, what I was seeing, he doesn't necessarily have his classic pieces quite yet. So a lot of his items are very seasonal. So just when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull the trigger and get this for myself because it's gonna be gone. Just when I was about to, the bag went out of stock, and it stayed out of stock. I couldn't find it anywhere. And even with that, I also had some concerns because I heard people mentioning customs and duty fees and import fees. So I wasn't sure if it applied to the US. I did my research. I even WhatsApped them and messaged them. And I think for the price point that I wanted, I wouldn't have to pay duties. So I could not find that bag anywhere. I couldn't find it in the US. I could not find it in London. It was nowhere. So it's still on my list. I'm hoping it comes back in stock. I think it'll be a beautiful bag to have in my collection. And it's just, I think it's cute. I used to want the, I think it's called the Noeud. But that style, when I compare it to the Bambino, I feel like the Bambino is more timeless for me. But it's also a beautiful bag. Next up, I have Gucci. Now, I should have said this at the beginning, but when I started out, one day I just okay, let me figure out what all the hype is. What is the hype around all these designers? I thought of all the designers I can think of, went on their websites and just looked through everything. I started with bags. I knew I'm an accessory girl, so I was looking at sunglasses as well as scarves. Of all the places I looked, Gucci, I was just I don't know if Gucci is for me, because initially I was looking at the is it Dionysus bag or Dionysus bag? I don't know how to say it. And I was researching that, but the more I looked at it, I was I don't think that's quite my style. It's not, I would say, as vibrant for what I usually go for. It wasn't until I came across the, let me look at the name, the Horsefit 1955 mini top handbag. It's something about that bag that speaks to my quirky side. It's not your traditional shaped bag, and it's something about that I loved about it, the novelty of it. And what sealed in the deal for me was, I think it's Simply Shay. I saw her with that bag, and she's one of the main people who had a review, and she sold me on it. She sold me on it. So I would love to have that in my collection. Also, I came across the Gucci, I believe it's called the dollar interlocking G flap medium shoulder bag. I don't know. But I remember I was going out to dinner. We were actually going to the Shard. And I happen to be carrying my, I have a Steve Madden flat bag that gives me the vibes. It was my first time carrying a bag of that size, and it was actually very convenient. It fit a lot of stuff, and it didn't feel too cumbersome. My cousin actually came with her bag, and I just remember I just kept eyeing it. I was okay, that's a nice bag. She mentioned that she got it from the Gucci outlets in, okay, I want to say Bicester. It's Bicester? My UK folks, you guys know where the outlet is at. But I was thinking about checking out the outlet here in Atlanta or North Georgia. So we'll see about that. I feel like if I do get that bag, that would kind of take the place of a black YSL Sunset, because just the look and feel of it was just giving me what I needed. So the dollar interlocking G bag is also on my wish list. Now next up, hear me out, it's Cartier. Now, as I was looking for items to add to my wish list and add to my pin board, I was okay, what about some jewelry items? I would really love a gold bangle. I was okay, I've heard of the Cartier Love Bracelet. I've seen the ring before. I know some people with the ring. And I was okay, that'd be nice. I did not know those bracelets are $7,000 to $10,000. I did not know this. So what I will say is, that bracelet serves as a placeholder. As I did my research, I was a little confused. So here are people saying their $10,000 bracelet fell off their wrist like randomly. They didn't know. I hear people saying they just got theirs and the screws were loose. You can hear them like jingling. Some people complained about that. And one of the things that Cartier does is they recommend a jewelry adhesive. Now, some people said they used it. I've seen some people say that in all their years of buying Cartier, that is where they drew the line. They refer to that adhesive as a super glue. I don't know. But it's beyond me. But what I will say, if the spirit moves you to get me a Cartier bracelet, I'll take it. It doesn't matter. If you want to give me a bracelet, if you want to give me 10K, I'll take it. Bills will be paid. Money will be saved. Money will be invested. Do you hear me? I can do a lot. With that money. Because the thing about it is just the idea of $10,000 just falling off your wrist. Listen, I don't know nothing about that lifestyle. I don't. So, I wasn't expecting to hear that about Cartier. With it serving as a placeholder, I would love to get a solid gold bracelet the next time I'm in any African country or Asian country. Coach does have a very simple bangle with just the Coach C on it. And I know that they go on sale quite a bit. And I'm eyeing this specific bangle for whenever it does go on sale. I'll just scoop that up in the meantime. So next up, I have the beloved Coach. I definitely want a bag from Coach because I've heard so many great things about their leather, period. In comparison to everything else on this list, their price point is stellar. They always have constant sales. So I definitely want something from Coach in my closet or in my collection. I will say the Tabbies are beautiful. But I have to be real with myself. I feel like that's not a bag I would reach for often. I have had a couple outfits where I'm like, okay, this would really set it off. But just being honest with myself, I know I wouldn't reach for that bag. Now, I will say, Steph Mayers, when I saw her video on the orange Tabby, I knew I needed one. I wanted to go, and I was even eyeing it when I was out and about. So I think right now they don't sell the large orange one. They just sell like the smaller one. But Steph, you knew what you was doing. I wanted that bag after that. But being real myself, it's not a bag I would reach for often. I also had my eye on the Amazon green Rogue. I think Rogue 19. And then I remember going in the store and I tried on the black Rogue and I had my coat on. It just looks so perfect under my arm. The only complaint I have with that bag, one, which is a good complaint, that bag has weight to it. But for me, it's kind of like in the middle of like, I don't know if it's a small bag, I don't know if it's a big bag. Because I am a tote girl, but I know like my laptop wouldn't fit in it. Maybe if I had like an iPad or something, being real myself, I feel like right now, it's just not a bag I would reach for out of convenience, but it's a beautiful bag. It's made so well. So I'm starting to feel like I'm probably going to have to wait until Coach makes some new designs for me to get something from them. But I definitely want something that is Coach. So next up, I have Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. The bags I was eyeing were the Wynwood and the Spring Streeter. Now, it was a time when I was thinking about texture in my outfits or adding something that adds a bit of dimension to your outfit. I will say Veronica Marcia, I really love her channel. It's crazy because at the same time that I was thinking about having something that pops with your outfit, she made a video talking about texture. So I've been eyeing the Spring Streeter and the Wynwood. I remember seeing the Spring Streeter on someone years ago. Again, I didn't know nothing about that. Then I came across the Wynwood. I'm like, okay, they're pretty neck to neck. I didn't see many reviews on the Wynwood, but it was catching my attention. I think what really sealed the deal was seeing Adele with the Wynwood. I was like, that's a bad bag. Ideally, I would still want that bag, the Wynwood instead of the Spring Streeter, but I don't know if they sell it anymore. So every Louboutin I went to, they said they did not have it. And one of the last ones I went to in person, they said it's discontinued. I'm not sure if they still make that bag, but I would absolutely love having the Wynwood in my collection for sure. And the other item from Louis Vuitton that has been plaguing me. I feel like this item is so obnoxious, but something about it I keep referring back to. And I'm like, maybe that means something. Maybe. The item I'm talking about are the Paris, Texas sunglasses. Now I hear you, they look very, very loud. I was like, I can do without that gold band on it, but it's something about them. It's something about them that I keep going back to. So I'm just imagining those glasses with a very plain, subdued outfit and those being the focal piece. So I keep referring back to them. I can't shake it, so maybe that means something. So next up, I have Nelly. Precious Nelly. Next up is Chanel. What I will say, when I did initially start just looking through the website to see what is it that I like, what am I drawn to, I thought I wasn't a Chanel girl. But as I learned more so about how Chanel bags appreciate value and investment purposes, I was like, you know what? I would love to have a Chanel in my closet just for it to just be up in its price. I probably wouldn't wear it. It wasn't until I saw Nori, or is it Nora or Nori? It wasn't until I saw her channel when she did her collection of Chanel bags that I fell in love with the vintage vertical jumbo bag. I absolutely love that bag. Like I said prior, like I'm not too big on quilting on bags, but there are exceptions for me. So I would love to have that bag. Now, from what I've been hearing, Chanel has been upping their prices, but not necessarily upping their quality. And I feel like they're getting to a point where they just want to be more exclusive. And I get it, their brand, I get it. But what was more concerning for me was just seeing people who have extensive collections saying they're not willing to buy at the current Chanel prices. So with that, I feel like a lot more people, just from the dialogues and discussions I've been hearing, are going to be turning to YSL because the quality is there and some of the look as well. With so many price increases, I feel like some of these things I need to get on top of and buy sometime this year, according to my pockets, before the price increases more. But I feel like some of Chanel's price increases and spikes are gonna have a few more people gravitating towards YSL. That's just my thought. Next up, I would really love an item from Hanifa or Andrea Iyamah. Y'all let me know if I pronounced that correctly. But from Hanifa, she has this orange beach cover-up skirt. I love how that looks. However, my size is not in stock right now. I feel like I might be able to find a dupe. And if I do find a dupe, I would probably want just something else from Hanifa. I remember I started following her on social media like maybe a year or so prior to her doing her iconic runway with no models. And this was, I think it was called Pink or Pink Resort. And this was prior to us knowing that, you know, was gonna be a thing. That was just so groundbreaking, and so happy to see her in the process of doing it and just kind of catching wind of her before that happened and just seeing where she is now. Absolutely love it. Another item I want to get, like I said, is from Andrea. There's this dress she wore. I don't know if it's a dress or jumpsuit, but it looked absolutely beautiful on her. I was like, take all my coins. However, she never put the dress in that color online. I believe she put another color. But if I can find a picture, I'm going to insert it. But like, I need something from Andrea as well. I love her style, her demeanor, at least how she comes across on social media. It's an aesthetic. Also, not to forget, I want something from Kai Collective. I have been eyeing one of her scarves. I think it's one of the Gaia scarves. And I've been eyeing her Gaia blouse as well. So we'll see. I definitely want that scarf though. Next up, I have Prada. Definitely want Prada Loafers. Pretty sure you guys have seen this picture. This picture had social media in a frenzy. Like, I saw that picture everywhere. Like, that picture deserves pay. I wasn't too sure about it because all the products I went to, I didn't see any of the loafers out. What really sealed the deal for me was seeing someone else rock them, and they rock them so beautiful, the same exact way I would rock them. In the meantime, like, if I find a dupe, I'll be okay. I would hope to have that in my collection sometime soon. Next up, I have Louboutins. Christian Louboutin. I recently graduated and got my master's, and I was thinking to myself, okay, what items would I want to congratulate myself? Or a lot of what I've seen before, it's like people having their red bottoms in their graduation pictures. So I was like, okay, maybe I need some red bottoms in my closet. Now, granted, I knew these shoes are very uncomfortable, and from my research, what I saw, I feel like whenever I do get to that point, I would want the D'Orsay Louboutins because I feel like you have a little bit more wiggle room. And I saw someone else, what they did is they take theirs to the cobbler and they remove the sole and add like a rubbered red sole just to make it a little bit more easier to walk. Like, I already know those shoes were not designed for comfort, but they're kind of on the back burner for me right now because I'm just like, where would I be going? I don't have anywhere to go to wear those right now. So I definitely want them in my closet, but I'm not in a hurry to get them quite yet. So next up, and it's crazy how things can change. I originally recorded this video and I just was not feeling it. So in the time span of me recording, Fendi crept into my wish list. It crept in there. I have been starting to like the Fendi baguettes. It's something about it that's vintage and very mature and more to me. So I would love to have one in my collection. I was eyeing it's like a beige canvas one, and I haven't seen too many reviews on this, and I can barely even find this exact bag on their website, but someone else had it. Absolutely loved it. Chef's kiss. I would love to have one of Fendi's bags in my collection. Crazy enough, I saw a teal bag at TJ Maxx the other day. I saw multiple. And I don't know why I was so attracted to it. And until later on, I realized it was a Fendi dupe. I could have got that. I remember seeing it at 2 different TJ Maxxes, and they had multiple. I went back, still have not found that bag. I am hurting. But yeah. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm still new to YouTube, figuring things out. But I would love any constructive feedback. You know, let's keep it positive and light. If some of the items I've mentioned today are also on your wish list, I would love to know if you plan on getting it. If you know of any dupes or things, just the vibe that I mentioned here that you think I'll be interested, please share those with me. My phone. And yeah, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with friends. We plan on getting you guys more videos on fashion, home ownership, and things like that. So please stay tuned. Thank you again. Until next time, bye.